Hello, everyone. This is Kev. Uh, just want to say a few words uh, about the late Darren Cal, aka RBR Network. Here that he passed away yesterday, I believe. Uh, he had been in these spaces for a while. I mean, there are people. I think quite a few people know him. He wasn't the largest content creator, but he had been around for some years, I would say. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I was his biggest fan or whatever, because people have a tendency to do that when someone passes. But as of late, depending on who it is, there's also this over and undertone of disrespect for the dead. So, but I'm not gonna do that either. Uh, just gonna just do this in good taste. RBR was not one also that I would say I agreed with his, political philosophies and ideologies or whatever. But I mean, what person has a perfect record of people agreeing with them? so yeah. And the way he did content, it was kind of out there. Um Yeah, I wasn't one of his, you know, biggest. Like I said, I wasn't one of his biggest fans. When I showed up in his chats, it was basically to disagree with what he said. But one thing I would say is I do kind of respect the fact that he stood on the square and, you know, just by the way he did content, he was, one of the most, maybe the most consistent content creator I've ever seen. I mean, he wasn't flip floppy or whatever, but there are content creators that are in this space and adjacent to this space as well that have frequented this content, so they would have more insight than I would. So, rest in peace to the brother. Uh, the real brother, as he would refer to himself as. My condolences to his family and also to the people who cared about him on these social media platforms. He really believed in the things that he was saying, and deep down, I believe that he loved his people. You know, and he like I said, he stood on the square more so than some of you out there, I would say. And that's saying a lot for the mentality that we dealt with every time we've had a chance to uh observe and take in his content. So rest in peace, brother. Okay, so let's get to the smoke show. Well, not gonna do the intro tonight. All right, so we will go ahead and acknowledge who's in the chat or who was in the chat. I don't know if they're still here or not. They were here earlier. Uh, Raven Knight. Uh, yeah, these comments are showing up in StreamYard. There were two comments that were here, before. I think they were Field, Brad, and RPM. Uh, so they were the actual early birds. But thank you all for coming in, and as all of you come in, you go ahead and hit that like button, or for some of you, you're going to hit that dislike button. But I mean, that's cool too. In fact, there was a person that was disliking all of my stuff, and they haven't been back lately. So you know, maybe they maybe they gave up. Maybe they thought and believed that by hitting that dislike button that was gonna oh my god, somebody disliked my content. I better quit or some shit like that. So anyway, tourism, the storm crow had come through. What's good, brother? Phil Brad. There he was. There he is. Marcus Romero Productions. MRP. Put some respect on that name, folks. What's good? Cursor TV. And that's a cool name. Cursor TV. Yeah. That's mm. How you doing? Said I remember him on Fight Club. Yeah, and he was pretty much saying the same things that he always said. Yeah. He would he would get to the point where he would insult people. I mean, you and I've come to expect that from staunch Democrats. I mean, he was very dedicated Democrat. He loved everything about the Democrat as he expressed. Now, what I would say one thing about him is when he did speak like a sensible person, he was very articulate. And when I say sensible, I mean that sometimes when he spoke, he sounded like he was out there. So, but when you come to this platform, especially somewhere like YouTube, you have to be sort of a character. I mean, I'm not. I present myself as an absolute, real person. What you see is what you get. So there's no problem with that with me, you know. But I mean, he did what he did. So uh, yeah. So let's go ahead and yeah, against the grain. Against the Grizzain is the topic for tonight, but it's a smoke show topic, so it could go either way. With with that, it's not something that it it's something that I've been told because I disagree with the general populace of blacks in Western culture. Like not like just on anything that is, I would say codified to the race or whatever, but it's just that the general mentality seems a bit, and people are gonna get offended by some of the stuff that we say around here in these spaces, in these YouTube virtual spaces, and we have a tendency to have a sort of a sheepish mentality, meaning that whatever the mainstream media says is okay to talk about and to worry about. That's where most people will go. That's where most people direction will head, is that they will listen to whatever is on the TV and what the newscasters say, which I mean, if it's factual and correct information, we can't argue with that, no matter where it comes from, whether it be mainstream media or the internet. Even you'll hear a lot of times on mainstream media, don't believe everything you hear on the internet, as a way of taking shots at people who frequent the internet and internet spaces, and listen to people who don't have a script or don't need the approval of some rich person or influential person in an office collecting the cash. Um, I mean, a lot of you, who have been in these spaces know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of, I would say, for any content creator, it is a courageous thing to come up here and speak without permission, speak what's on their mind, push a certain narrative because that's what we do. In ways we are similar to the mainstream media because we push certain narratives. We try to push the information in the direction that is the most beneficial to our own beings. I mean, that is kind of a selfish thing, but it's just the nature of it. I mean, as long as we can admit that to ourselves, I think that we will cope with pretty good, I would say. So, yeah. So, because I disagree with what's being pushed mainstream rise, I've been told by a couple people that, I do it so much, because I just disagree with the mentality overall. I mean, it's and it's not that I believe that black men are perfect, because if for anyone who consumes my content, you do know and understand I don't believe that's the case at all. That black men are perfect. There was a content creator that was selling T-shirts that said "Black men are perfect," and I totally disagree with it. Even though I've named this channel "Black Men Being Brutally Honest," and I've made it for black men. That does not mean that I am 100% biased toward black men. I just want people to understand that. So when I express viewpoints that are black men favorable, it is because I believe that they are the right thing to express. It's not that it's some type of antithesis to feminism, something like that, I would say. All right, we got Black Light Revelations 2 in the building. What's up, Rob? It's good. Christopher the Conqueror. Gone from Milk coming through. Can't stay but wanted to say RB, RIP, RBR. Yes, rest in peace. Yes. I mean, he did hours and hours of content that has to be acknowledged, for any of us that do hours and hours of content. I want to let people know who don't do content that watch these things is that it does take a degree of tenacity and also intelligence. Although we do have content creators that aren't that intelligent, no knock. I'm not saying any names or anything like that. They do have that tenacity, and some do very good. So, I mean, don't hate the player, hate the game. But yeah, when the tenacity is there, it must be acknowledged. Yeah. So, oh yeah, against the grain. It's like I said. Okay, let's since it's political season and there are a lot of political themed narratives that are going around. I will say this is okay. Okay, it's just like this, and people would even the general populace. And I'm black, so I'm around a lot of black people, and most black people are Democratic leaning. And I claim indifference, meaning that whatever's best for the people. They would disagree with me saying something like this. Okay, you ready? It is okay to be worried, I would say, or concerned about VP, Vice President, presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, and also to dislike Donald Trump. It is okay. It's okay. So when we are referring to my people, many would get upset that I said that because according to people like Ricky Smiley, you know, we should just be on code and not disagree or question or we should just support and that's it. It's kind of like those people who get on the internet and be mad at people that don't like the current batch of entertainment that's being put out. Just enjoy things. Do not question I don't know. I guess I don't know. Somewhere in that generation called X, I don't know. Somebody somewhere told me to question everything. Question it till it leads to a fact. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to carry on in life like we're mindless zombies. Mister, I disagree. That's fine. That is okay. Oh, you disagree with it? It is okay to question Kamala Harris, but and dislike Donald Trump. It is okay. Two things can be true. Two things can be true at once. I love that gene. The same. Okay. Yes, Kev. Gen X has that gene of freedom thinking. Yeah. I mean, many of us Gen Xers. I mean, the, many of us do have that gene, but many of us also have that kind of that sheepish, simpish way of thinking as well. So, um, I wouldn't say we were all perfect, but the vast majority of Gen Xers I run into seem to have it figured out. I'm just saying, I disagree just to be that guy. Oh, okay, yeah, you're the person they're talking about. Oh, you just disagree and just disagree. No, I mean, for me, I disagree because I truly believe that I'm right about this until a person proves to me otherwise with a fact. No, I don't agree that we should just hop on bandwagons just based on skin color. No, I do not. It's hard to trust public figures these days. You know, most people sit up there and say shit like, "Oh, we should just be on code and just agree." Would be more or less, unhappy about spaces like this. You know, for me, code is that we listen to all black input and take it into consideration, and we discard the nonsense and the bullshit, and we just keep all the good stuff. But that can be super subjective. So to allow the discourse in conversation is a productive thing. Personally, he doesn't like either one. Yeah, I don't like either one either. As far as who's better for the country itself, that's a different story because I don't know. It just seemed like more and more in recent years, and this disclaimer for those in the algorithm that monitor spaces like these. This is not anti government propaganda that I'm spewing here, but it just seems to me like the president is more of a face. Whoever that face is on, what is going to shape the mentality of the people who are the voters. So there probably is a belief or by men that by men that women are going to be on a high horse if Kamala Harris is in fact the first woman president. What I would say to those men is they are already on a high horse. They're on a high horse that they have to get a fucking ladder to get on. I just want to make sure that you guys already understand that. And yes, it's going to fuel a lot of tension as far as gender, especially within the black community. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. There's a lot of tension now, and people need to stop whining and crying about it. So That's what it is. That's what it is. When do we get on code and put our own candidate in office rather than choose between the ones they put in front of us, whom we never heard of beforehand? Oh, you're making a lot of sense there. Way too much sense. Making a lot of sense. Don't do that. No, keep doing it. But um, yeah, one thing that I've always stated is that we have to change the mentality of the people. What I mean by that is to basically to purge the stupidity. Make sure that we make the sound decision when it comes to that kind of thing. I mean, because if we choose the wrong guy or the wrong gal, then we're fucked. And it just seems like just from the news stories I consume, like that is when we do get behind a politician that looks like us and we try to insert said person into position, is that they let us down. They get in office, say fuck us, and then they just try to get every benefit they can for themselves. Stephen Reed, Montgomery, Alabama. Brandon Johnson, Chicago, Illinois. Shoot. I mean, just a couple. So we got to be careful with something like that. Yeah, whoever it is. And I mean that if we approach the presidential candidates like that too, I mean, maybe in about the next 50 years, it'll actually make a difference. To insert people that we want instead of get the people they put in front of us. Because that's pretty much all of them, or the ones recently, like Barack Obama was put in front of you. Everybody was like, "Yay!" Bill Clinton. It was like I will always see some type of picture or some image of them before they become president or something like that. It just before they even considered to be president. It happened with Bill Clinton. It happened with Barack Obama. You know, it also happened with Kamala Harris, whom I think has a really good chance of becoming president. You know, which it becomes divisive because how we handle ourselves socially and the kind of stuff that we spew out. When the conversations aren't political, when they don't have to do anything with have anything to do rather with Democrat or Republican. Jersey Hammer was good when we have the numbers and put up a candidate that is p- palatable to the general electorate. Shoot, let me tell you something. The higher ups, the people you don't see, they got that shit on lock. Then we put somebody in place, and then the next time you see them, if they actually succeed, some COINTEL Pro shit, or what do they call what do they call that conspiracy theory? Uh, yeah, I forgot. I should know the answer to that. Action Jackson was good. Don't have to answer. Do you believe Jesus was the son of God or just a prophet? Ooh. All right, we go. I don't know. I wasn't there, but according to the Bible and according to Christianity and many that is like it, Jesus is the Son of God. Andre 420, what's going on? Jesus was first commander of the spaceship from the Alpha Lord leader of Earth 2. Everything documented that he did proved he was never human. Oh, well, that's the kind of stuff I used to consume in 2011, 2012 before YouTube got rid of all the videos. Yeah, YouTube was an interesting place, back in the day for a while. But then it got all corporate, and then it started messing with algorithms. Also, speaking of algorithm and speaking of subscription, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed. It seems like for some reason YouTube is keeping me around a certain number of subs, meaning that every time I gain a few subs, I lose a few subs. Now, it could be it could be that people are just unsubscribing, saying "fuck Kevin," fuck you, motherfucker," and that's cool too, you know. But I have had complaints in the past that YouTube was unsubbing them from my channel, and due to this being a channel named Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and I'm gonna be really frank with you guys, really brutally honest. It's just that when you hear the words black and men put together, and recently in mainstream media, there's always some point of criticism because they're worried and afraid that black men aren't dedicated and worshiping and on their knees, for the Democratic Party. There's always some bullshit criticism, even though most black men are still Democrats and vote Democrat in an overwhelming number. So screw all that. It's a good sativa tonight. Yeah, sativa. Yeah, the I prefer sativa over indica. Yeah, for for the reason of sativa is like weed coffee. If you want to relax and possibly take a nap or something, or you're having trouble sleeping, the indica is for you. So I I prefer sativas because I want to enjoy the buzz. Do you believe Tom Holland Spider Man will look corny with the black symbiotic suit? No, he wouldn't. He's rumored to be a villain in Secret Wars with black suit. No, no, I don't think so. I think it'll be a great thing if they don't Disney Marvel it up. If they just stick to the Marvel part, not Disney Marvel, where they'll have somebody like Miss Marvel beat the beat the black suit Spider-Man or America Chavez or some bullshit like that. I mean, as long as they don't do that shit, I'll be fine with black suit Spider-Man. I think that I don't think that is corny the way that the comic books pull it off at its height. Yeah, that's what made it cool. And that's what made it. I mean, when those people were writing the comic, that's what made people want to see it in movie form. Sativa and indica just marketing tools. Okay. Andre 420 believes that they're just it's just like 4th of July. You think it is about you think 4th of July is about independence, but independence for who? Or do you just want to pop some goddamn firecrackers? What's good? I'm listening. What's good? Mm, yeah. The reason why black men aren't fans right now of the Democratic Party is because Democrats are more worried about gay rights and black. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Well, I mean, what is there? What is there for black men? What is the agenda for black men? Getting criticized by big back pundits. Like what's going on? Pundits with big backs. You know who I'm talking about. And little petite ones like Tiffany Cross. Robert Nelson. What's good? He said, "What up, Kev? I heard RBR passed recently. Uh, I just had a below the knee amputation. I stated on Red's channel Watched them gym showers, got an infection, and went crazy. Yeah, that's sound advice, man. Sound advice because people are nasty. People are nasty. They will get in the way of your self care, and you got to be really careful with using the gym amenities. Got to be really careful. And I'm sorry to hear that, Robert Nelson. Um, it's one thing is like, take advantage, man. If take advantage of your quality of life wherever you can, and try not to waste your time on anything petty. I mean, I do understand that some of us got stuff that we have to handle, as far as our general lives are concerned. But just guys, I want you to understand that there are options when, So, all right, Robert Nelson. Yeah, salute. Porsche Prairie was good. Art New respect. What's going on? Respect to the good brother. Tuesdays and Friday nights. Check out Art New Let's see. Uh, this is shoot here. Here we go. Yeah, this is Smoke Show Sunday. It's supposed to be somebody's supposed to come through one day magically and give me some smoke, but it's just I don't know. I'm not a guy of tension. Maybe there's that against the grain part that people talk about. You know what I'm saying? Having a smoke show, yet there's very little smoke on it. Uh, I don't know. Maybe it was a low key practical joke on my part, but I've expressed in the past otherwise. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. There are some levels that I'm not willing to reduce myself to, and you know, unless you piss me off, and then it's showtime. But the words "pissed" and "off" being used don't mean much on the internet, on either your Ethernet cable or your Wi-Fi connection. You know that, and everybody knows that, or you should know that. There are there are common sense things that are afoot when it comes to these. When it comes to generally navigating in life. So D-Rod 10 was good. You know what? I ain't even shout out get to that. Yeah. And like I said, while I'm getting that together, um, make sure that if you're sub to this channel that you are still sub. Make sure. But my membership are as follows. Thank you for your support month to month. The members are Greg, Aaron P, Phil Brad, Gone for Milk, Indigo Flow, D Rock Den, American Negro News, Barry Little, Yamcha 11, Black Pearl, Andre 420, Revelator, the Spirit of Variance, The Builder's Table, A Sower of Seed, Detroit 313, Blacklight Revelations 2, and Blue Marvel 9. Thank you for being members. Also, uh, 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 I've been advised to do this, and I'm gonna try to work on getting an earlier start time. I do understand that there are people that are sleep. I am a late night show, which late night shows for me are special attractions. I mean, um, I remember growing up, like it was forbidden territory. You know, because like with the era of the late night show, they're more risky at night. They go places where others won't. which means that if I do get an earlier start time, I have to think about the language that I use here. Using words like shit and damn and motherfucker and words like that that will get me the yellow dollar sign. Or people who they're around those times. There are more people who get offended very easily that are awake. I would say that. But this is brutally honest, which the key word there is brutal. Many would think the key word is honest, but we have this way of viewing honesty that we need to work on. Um, yeah, but anyway, like I said, for the members and for the people who frequent and in the live chats, thank you very much. So, all right, so let me drop this link here and see if someone that's gonna come up and tell me some stuff. Tell me some stuff. Hey, you motherfucking manosphere guy. How dare you exist? How dare you have a podcast? You know what they're saying about the podcast. Hey, I may have to put up that screenshot. Let me see if I can still do that. See if I still do that. Like, there's this Democratic leaning YouTube channel called Now This Impact. Like, they were big up in Tim Waltz. The newest white man on the block. They was talking about his, I guess when he made that speech at the DNC, they saying that he was this standard of masculinity. Like, just said Kev watched the constant bait and switch the American media doing cycles, pushing voting narratives for president, yet Congress and Senate funds two wars, Ukraine and Israel. I mean, but can't tell your average African American voter that though. It's all symbolism for us. It's all symbolism. You get them to keep that in mind. It just they let me tell you something, man. Go to a person that loves these people and say that. I mean, I don't know what kind of crowds, but I have people in my family that I can't tell this kind of stuff because they just like RBR Network, they strongly believe in the Democratic Party. They have a strong affinity for, doing the Cabbage Patch every time a Democrat wins an election. Just all right. So I hope everybody that is watching is hitting that like button. Hit that like button. And the link is dropped for those who want to come up and say, hey guy, I want to tell you some shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. I mean, it's free smoke. It's not smoke you got to go to the neighborhood to go get and purchase. Although that stuff is good too. Depending on who you go to. It's always like, I don't know. It's always good for me in the past to have a consistent weed person. It is that person you can go to, that person that you can rely on, depend on to give you the good stuff. Yeah, because the person that gives you the okay stuff is not the person that you want to, whose number you want to keep. So, yeah, but Robert Nelson. One thing that I do understand when it's frequent in the media that it's like one day is this issue, the other day is that issue, and it does get a bit annoying. And it's annoying to notice it. It's annoying to notice it, and then try to tell other people like they don't see that bullshit either. I mean, to like they don't see that bullshit. Like it's annoying to especially for people you do care about. Like this might not be the best thing. Oh yes, it is. Oh yes, it is. You are a sexist. You are a misogynistic sex. Oh man, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, with great power. This like supposedly the president of the United States. The postmortem over here is crazy. Just stopping through. Y'all enjoy. Whatever that means. But what's up, Gabe? Facts. My sister is a strong Democrat supporter as well, but I'm gonna get $300. Oh, what? You was placing the bet? Said facts. My sister is a strong Democrat supporter as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everybody in my family that drank the Kool Aid. Trump is the worst thing in the world. He energized racism, blah blah blah. And these are the good things they say about the Democratic Party because every time you ask that question, every time you ask that question, it's like, okay, what is good about the Democratic Party? What is the what is the policies you like? How did you benefit? Then there's always a list of shit about Donald Trump. Okay, fine. I give up. I give up. Hmm. Andre 420. It is what it is, man. We're allowed to have opinions on each other around here. This is it's 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 okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So link the link for anybody want to hit the link for the post mortem. Mm. All right. All righty. So um I guess I don't know, to be around family that disagrees with you philosophically and politically, and to just basically disavow your existence. That's I mean, lately I have avoided those conversations with those people. I don't I don't sometimes I just don't want to go through the trouble. I mean, sometimes those conversations are fun, but just to see people get worked up over something that really doesn't make a difference anyway, it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy, and people don't like hearing that. It's a fantasy. Do you really believe that any level of symbolism, even if you, as we say, as we say, people die for it. Hey, the link is in the chat. You say you have a comment. The link is in the chat. Shin Jedi Nobi, what's good? Said, what up, Kev? Maybe this is a spot people to come iron out their beefs. They don't want to iron them out. They want them things to stay wrinkly as fuck. They want to hate each other for the rest of their life. I mean, I did design this smoke show for that, but some people, got all in a tizzy about it. And then they want to go to their channels. Oh, come on here no more. Oh, Kevin won't protect me. Like, yeah, so, I mean, I can't be the kind of person who would be very angry about that and be like, "Oh man, those people could go fuck themselves." I mean, I had my moments with that. It's just that it's okay. Writing for this space has to you have to look at it as being 150 fucking percent thankless. I would say that. You have to look at it as that. It has to be a thankless job. You expect nothing from it, and also expect to lose from that as well. Nobody wants to iron out their beefs. These motherfuckers are pussies. They're pussies that want to stay in there. They're pussies that want to stay in their frame of mind. And then they want to ask a motherfucker like me to protect them. Like, no, I'm not your protector. Well, protect grown men from what? Words? Words that are delivered in little packets through wires? Like, what the fuck do you want from me? Like, this, hey guy, don't say that to that grown man over there. I know that grown man can use words too. Like, fuck out of here. Instead of people wanting to smoke with you. That's what it was at first. That's what it was. There'll be a certain guy that would show up, and then somebody would hit the panel just to drag him all over the place, and that motherfucker would get angry with me. I don't want to come over here no more. If you're gonna have this, then I don't gonna come over here no more. And I tried to be nice about it. I really sincerely tried to be nice about it. Hey man, look, hey, it's just that's whatever on that. And then they'll say I got sunned. Kevin, you got sunned. Like, I guess it's you got served itself the YouTube internet version. And then like the whatever and whoever I fell out with, I wasn't trying to prove anything. Man, the hell with them. You want your channel to blow. I don't want my channel to blow. I want my channel to blow up. If that's what you meant, sure. Sure. Yeah, to hell with those people. Yeah, to hell with all of them. If you're gonna sit up here and whine and cry about getting smoke on a smoke show, then fuck you. Shoot. Go shoot. Go get chocolate wasted. I don't give a fuck. All right, shoot. Kev, I live in my home city again, Chester, PA. MLK went to ministry school here in the 50 city council, and the mayor don't get along. It's crazy. It's still classified as a city, yet it rezoned as a borough. Let me tell you something, man. Places that were civil rights strongholds are very questionable places in present day. And any place where you have streets that are named after people like Martin Luther King, the MLK is always problematic. And I don't know if that's just if that's just a conspiracy theory, or if that's just a conspiracy theory, or is this something that I see it in the cities I've lived in. I mean, every time it's named Martin Luther King or MLK, is fucked up. Like, I mean, it is crazy. Montgomery, Alabama. You would think that because of Montgomery, Alabama, the Montgomery bus boycott, that black people have a culture of figuring it out. Hell no. That is not the case. Yeah, I see you down there, Shin Jedi Nobi. Shoot. We got a black man mayor, and it hasn't made a fucking difference. But at the same time, the personal choices of the people themselves also impact all of this as well. The problem I see is that people want a politician to step in and then to do their basic shit for them. And that's not ever, like, when people argue over these fucking presidential candidates. Like, it's just weird symbolism at this point. You can't sit up there and act like it actually makes a difference who the president is. All it is symbolism. All it is gonna make a group of people whoever whoever this group of people is representing, is gonna make that group of people cut up like they can live vicariously through one person. Like shit. Just like the South Indian presidential candidate. Detroit 313, what's going on? I've taught some city hall people about my city rezone as a borough, so more corporations come in and talk businesses around. Because around my city, Parkside, Upland, Brookhaven, and Media are built up. So I would ask who made the decision to chose particular streets would be named MOK. That's a good question. When you remove the resources from an area, and it's a mix of the things that we talk about and then actual decisions being made, like what Mr. Nelson is talking about here. Sorry, I'm not more astute, but hold on one second. I can become more astute. Okay, so basically just big money coming in and just driving everything the fuck up. Yeah, but Shatterstar Games, what's good? Shatterstar Games, people. It's just a brother who is a frequenter of this space right here. Okay, salute Kev in the chat. Yeah, but talking about being against the grain, this it's really when someone, if you ever happen to hear, someone say that you're just trying to be against the grain, that's just a way of invalidating whatever point that you're trying to make. One of the issues is the single mother culture, push away fathers movement won't die in my area. Plus last year's from the Treasury, God damn, 500K. And what city you said this was? Chester, PA. Yeah, and I mean, like, no one. I mean, it is a topic that is discussed from pillar to post about single motherhood and how problematic that is for the community. And I happen to agree with a lot of what's being said about that. If you don't agree with it, you're just brain dead, or you just don't want women blamed. But I mean, that's a conversation. Andre, what's good?
What's good, Kev? How you doing?
Yeah, what's good? What you got?
Obviously, I don't have any smoke for you, but I like over the last week. I think it was pretty hilarious because they canceled that show, The Acolyte.
Oh, they canceled. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then the showrunner talking about the showrunner was saying, as a feminist, blah blah blah. And people all over the internet, it's like, oh, it's the fault of the incels, the neckbeards that complained about the show, and we need to get rid of the stigma of sexism and racism. And
you can see the comments that was said about it. It's fucking hilarious. Even this one chick was like, the Acolyte being canceled is the equivalent of the second tower going down. Yeah, she said that.
It's like, the what?
It's the equivalent of the second tower going down.
Oh God, really?
Yes, really.
Like for real, she should have been cussed out for that. People who say stuff like that should be ostracized from society. You don't make this bullshit. It's like Wendell Pierce trying to use like the whatever happened in the 50s and 60s with black people just to get you to vote for a candidate that is the antithesis of that. It's it's dumb as fuck. And like I said, whoever said that should have their social media account banned. You can't,
Well, of course, it was like
many
it was
people
some
died
random
that
white
day.
chick,
Uh,
some random white chick, of course. Like, because if you look at all the chicks that were complaining about it, they're making videos and stuff. They're all, well, not all, but for the most part, slightly overweight. Like the colorful hair and piercings. That
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. They big back. I mean, or they're just awkward to the they look like they should have been they look like they should have been nuns instead. Like
yeah, and they're saying shit like, "Congratulations, you bigots, you finally won." And it's like you're calling people bigots because they didn't like the show. Even like women were coming out and saying they didn't like it.
now people like that they want to keep the narrative, like they want to keep it on men. It was men who were complaining. I mean, I've seen the scores of YouTubers that are actually women who have said that they've been putting out a lot of trash lately, and like they call it a lot of woke trash. Like, basically, when people say woke, they don't mean that I want everything to stay white man. You know, even though white men, for some reason, they write some really cool shit. They create some really cool characters and such. That's Spider Man. But um, these writers, they want to put women in the lead roles and not write the roles with any kind of passion. They just want to use the fact that, oh, we got a woman in this lead position. So, you're going to like it anyway because it's about time a woman took charge of blah, blah, blah.
Well,
You know,
well,
and
Kev, in that sense, like, 'cause there was a great point that was made by one of these dudes reviewing this shit. Because he was just like, if we're all bigots and racist, then how come so many men like fucking House of the Dragon? There's multiple female leads in that show, and she's
yeah, I
literally
mean,
fighting the queen. Like, why do we like it if we're bigots and racist?
no,
Sexist.
because they want you to like their stuff, the stuff that they put out. Just because, okay, just because she's a woman, you supposed to like it, or you're a sexist, or or if they check off as many boxes as they can. Okay, she's a woman, she's gay, or she's a woman, she's black, she's disabled, and she's gay. You're supposed to automatically like everything they put out. Is no question about that. You're supposed to be like, oh, it's like what a lot of these people on the internet say: do not question product, just consume product and be excited for next product. You hear a lot of people say stuff like, why can't people just enjoy things? Why do they have to complain about everything? And what I'm saying is that it's almost like telling people what they have to do with their money. You don't have a place in that. I mean, I'm not gonna like something just because you put a black man in the lead role. If you don't write that person with any kind of passion, like you do with the characters that y'all complain about, because they are white men or they are heterosexual, and they use little cheesy fucking words like heteronormative and cis, like just so they can have something to offend people, because they write their insecurities into these roles, into these parts, into these shows like She-Hulk. Like,
Yeah, She-Hulk got canceled too.
oh yeah, She-Hulk got canceled because it's like they like She-Hulk. Sure, she's sort of has a little narcissistic edge, maybe. I mean, I'm talking about the comic book. She breaks the fourth wall, but she's actually funny. She's actually likable. In the show, they made her a feminist, and that wouldn't have been completely wrong if they didn't do the same thing they do in every one of the new shows. They have her disrespecting the characters that came before her. Like, the Hulk who sacrificed his arm to bring back half of the fucking universe. But, because some goofball writer that isn't really good wants to push the narrative of catcalling, that was a bigger problem in the show than half the universe being snapped away. Oh God. I heard even the new Assassin's Creed game is woke. Yeah, because basically what they do when they write these shows, they will try to bring awareness to social issues or so-called social issues that people have a tendency to give feedback on the internet. Raven Knight says Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, I heard a black woman is running Sweet Baby Inc. So that's why all these BS decisions are being made. Like some BLM women. Like, they said BlackRock is doing that shit too. Oh, founded by a black woman that hated video games. Oh shit. Man, look, yeah. I'm probably gonna post it in my community tab. They had some social media posts where somebody put up a poll of the least attractive things that a man can do in video games was at the top of that list. So I guess I've been an ugly motherfucker since I was a kid. Because I don't know. Her ex left her to play NBA 2K. How did she come into power? Like, how did she come into power? Like, is she a diversity hire funded by the Democrats? Oh, there we go. Seem like when the Democrats win, everybody loses. But old Trump. Let me see. Sweet. I'm looking it up right now. Sweet Baby Inc. Oh God. Oh God. Kim Bel Air. Let me share the screen real quick. Let me share the screen real quick. Yeah, this is her. This is her. This is the see okay.
Who's that chick?
She runs Sweet Baby Inc. So, and this is why a lot of forms of entertainment are having this woke problem because of her. Let's see.
Was she a director, writer? Like,
she's a CEO. She's a CEO. She's
oh fuck,
CEO of
even
Sweet
worse.
Baby Inc. She wanted to take over the video game industry. So that's why you're having a lot of these video games that are stinking up the place. See, beware of stuff like this. Keep telling y'all.
I mean, I could already tell like the new Assassin's Creed was going to be a flop. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
The man said it's why we can't have nice things. Because of bitches.
Hey, what's going on, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Hey, man, I was hearing what you had said earlier. That Sweet Baby thing is funny because that actual company is a consultant of all things DEI. So she theoretically doesn't write. She theoretically doesn't promote these games. She's there as a liaison consultant, so that when they make these games, she finds different DEI points that can be put into the game, and then for each point, I think BlackRock and companies like that, they have a DEI score, and based on your score, they'll give you money for the game. So the kind of what they were trying to do is they're like, well, we're going to pay you to put the DEI stuff in there, even though we know no one really wants it, but we'll pay you to put it in there.
Yeah, and that's why nobody's buying into this shit, man. Do you know how many of these video games are crashing and they're just not good? Like they're bums. They're bums. Like they
Have
just
you
had
seen
this.
the new DEI game? Have you seen? It's actually the whole game is based on DEI. It's called Dustborn. The most ridiculous game. I'm like, why did they even spend this much money to even make it? It's like if you want to make a game like totally DEI, the whole game from top to bottom is based on DEI. Look up Dustborn. It's ridiculous.
Dustborn.
Yes, sir. Dustborn.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Boy, the acolyte stuff, man. Like you were saying about the acolyte, the woman was complaining and saying, "Oh, won for white supremacy because the people didn't like it. Y'all won." Well, I would say this: there's ways to do a female character that could be a good character and not make it all DEI. I mean,
Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley.
You feel me?
Well,
they've got it there.
Well, Van Jones, what you just were saying is like that's what I was saying earlier. Is because like a great argument was made. It's like if we're afraid of strong women and we're misogynistic and bigots and racist, like then how come the show House of the Dragon was well received by men, right?
Right. Well, yeah. Why did it do so well? That would be my question.
That's what we were talking about. They're like, these men are just scared of strong women and female leads and a diverse cast. And it's like, if you hear like diverse anything in these shows, like, it's going to be some bullshit.
Yeah, that's what they start off with. Like, yeah, it's the most diverse game ever. I think this one was actually billed as that. I mean, you can even look at the new movie Alien Romulus. And for the female leads and the Gen Z cast that they had, I think the most interesting character in there was the brother who played the Andy, the android.
Yeah.
Like he was the best character in the fucking movie.
Yeah, but it's a hard sell. Like a minor girl all of a sudden becoming a weapons expert with battle strategy.
Raven, you loved Alien Romulus. Like, I don't know. It's like the reviews on that movie are very split. They're very mixed. It's like I've been in like a bunch of different places looking at people reviewing it, and like and even on like if you look it up online, like it has high like ratings from like people that actually watched it, not the paid fucking reviewers and shit. Like it has high ratings. For me personally, and I thought it was kind of like,
Well, the reason why I thought that it stayed true was they took what worked. And the reason it's making money now is I believe that they took that part because where I saw was what Ridley Scott originally did. I saw they brought that back. Ridley Scott produced it. Fede Alvarez didn't go against the grain. And I think that the characters that they actually wrote in there actually made sense to a certain extent. Now, for his Big Chap being in there, and he's killing all the people in the station. Yeah, they could have made something better for that. I mean, it's been sitting out here for 50 years or whatever. They could have came up with something better, but I mean, it didn't go against the grain.
Yeah, I heard about Borderlands. Yeah, I heard that it sucked, and it was just it was more of the same strong female character. I mean,
the casting was bad on that. The whole casting was bad, man. To put nothing against Kevin Hart, but to put Kevin Hart as Roland, I can.
No, there's definitely something against Kevin Hart, bro.
You feel
there's definitely something against Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Do you think the ship has sailed for Kevin Hart? I think it has.
Yes.
I think the ship has sailed.
He fucking sucks.
Yeah, he just didn't look right in that movie. I mean, I could see the comedy. I see what they were going for because Borderlands is a comedy deal. They always have like crazy humor. and I can see how they thought that maybe that would translate in through Kevin Hart, but for the amount of money they put in the movie, I don't think it translated well at all, especially with the Borderlands people who are used to Borderlands. I
Just,
wasn't going to see Borderlands.
just,
I
just
actually
look
paid
at like the
to
last movie. Look at the last movies that fucking Kevin Hart was in, man. None of them have done good.
Yeah, the ship had sailed. He's a he Kevin Hart is still there because he is in real good with gatekeepers. I would say.
Yeah, I used to like him. Well, I liked like his first like comedy specials that he did. Then after that, it was just every
Se-
fucking joke. He's I'm sure and
His
shit. It's
peak,
like, come on, bro.
his peak was seriously funny. That was his peak.
feel like
Uh,
Paid in Full was
say it,
good,
say
right?
it with your chest. You want to go night night, nigga? Them jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one where he was talking about Shaq was falling over. That was funny. But his comedy specials after that, they went down. I mean, he got more mainstreamy. Um, shit like that. I mean, getting punked by Kathy Najimy publicly and not saying anything.
and he
Uh,
did say some goofy shit too. He did say that he's better than fucking Eddie Murphy and shit.
no,
He
you're
said
not.
that. He
Not
said
by
something like
any.
along those lines.
Not
But,
by.
but
Not by
backing up of
any
that other one too.
stretch of the imagination is Kevin Hart as great or as funny as Eddie Murphy. If
No,
top 10 black comedians, D.L. Hughley and Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey would not make that list.
well, we talking about
Shit,
money made.
Like Eddie Murphy got back at him. He's just like, really? You think you're better than me? He's like fucking Ross from the fucking '80s, and it's still better than anything you ever did.
No,
Yeah,
he's
I
not.
would
He's
never
not better
try
than
to.
Cat Williams. Cat Williams will be in my top 10 list. Kevin
Oh
Hart
yeah,
wouldn't.
for sure. Cat will be definitely in there. Me as a person that does music and stuff like that, and I've gotten a lot of let's just say inspiration from Southern artists. Some West Coast, some East Coast as well, Midwest. But like let's just say producer. I'm making music. I definitely like the style that Pimp C and them put out in the early '90s. I wouldn't never, even if I feel like my beats was great and this and that, I would never say, "Oh, I'm better than Pimp C," because that's the OG. You'll never do that. That he paved the way. Eddie Murphy paved the way for Kevin Hart. So for him to try to compare himself publicly, I don't think that would be a good idea. I don't know if you can play a portion of that they probably might try to hit you, but if you just hear some of the commentary from this Dustborn stuff, it's crazy. And I saw that Raven Knight said he almost took a job with Gearbox to work on Borderlands 3. Hey man, maybe you should have took it because I've seen a lot of bad reviews. I got on Borderlands 2. I think it was great. I seen they dropped the ball a little bit on Borderlands 3. Maybe they could have used your help, brother Raven Knight. They definitely didn't do as well as Borderlands 2.
Well, I was planning on watching the Borderlands movie. You know, like I wasn't a fan of. Well, I never played the games, but I was just gonna watch it for the fuck of it. But yeah, like, and I seen Kevin Hart was in it. That was already making me iffy. Like I said, like I haven't liked the last movies that he's been in, man. Because he's just not a good actor. I'm sorry. I've been trying to support him, but he's just not a good actor, man.
Well, you got Jack Black as Claptrap, and I can kind of see Jack Black playing Claptrap. I can kind of see that. Tiny Tina, the way they play her character in the game, Tiny Tina was not depicted as that character, and then Lilith, the way they went and got the older white actress to play her, it just didn't make sense because I'm like they could have got a Gen Z actress to play that, or that woman is old as hell. I don't think she would be the proper Lilith. I think they dropped the ball totally in casting, for sure. My question is, who would you have rather seen in there? For that, I would say just casting. I would definitely say Rampage Jackson would be my number one pick for Roland, just off the muscle. You know, you can make the play for Claptrap's voice because he's a machine. You know, it's going to be a voice only. But as far as the looks, definitely I would go Peter Jackson is definitely rolling over Kevin Hart. But I would ask you guys, who do you think would be a better cast on that?
Like I said, I haven't like played the Borderlands game, but I thought it was gonna be something like like the show Fallout slash game Fallout. Like I thought it was gonna be like kind of like that, somewhat at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, but see, since you haven't played the game, you wouldn't see Fallout is it's comical, but it's got that deep crazy comical, but this is like over the hill comedy, like Borderlands, just the most craziest things these people say in that game. I can see where they had to try to find a way to make a story to it, but they could have used Jack and I forgot the name of Jack's situation. Atlas, yeah, Atlas. They could have used Atlas and Jack a lot better than they did because Jack was like the most horrible corporate, dirtiest, no good son of a SOB, and then they had him in there as like this, you know, this corporate dude, but really Jack was just this psychopath. He should have been like this psychopathic corporate
Oh yeah.
magnate.
Sorry. Oh, one sec, Kev.
Yo.
Yo, yeah, because I was talking with Artisan earlier, and like he was saying the same shit I was saying. Like we were watching your review with Supercell, and fucking it just disappeared, man. Like
Mm.
he was saying he wanted to hear what you had to say on it, so he was just like, maybe he might want to like tap in with you later and fucking, maybe y'all can organize something together or some shit. Because he really liked the show as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. By the way, they announced it for a season 2 finally.
Of course, they had to do season 2, man.
Yeah. Yeah. They got to. There's no choice. It's their hottest show. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a redo. If Artisan want to get together and talk about it, yeah, we can. We
Yeah.
can.
Well,
We can do that.
Artisan, he does his shows on Sundays, so I've been like, hanging out over there on Sundays because he talks about, like shows and shit like that. He's like, he's a big fan of like comics and,
Oh yeah. He he
fucking
he, he
shows and
runs a
shit.
comic shop. He runs a
Yeah.
comic.
Well, he used to, anyways, but still, like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's
Well,
really
I
into
mean,
that.
like he's still a huge fan, very knowledgeable on comic books and such, and what's been and really pissed off about the garbage that's been put out lately. So, I mean, he's someone that's very passionate about that. So,
Yeah, like the main people that outside of like like the really mainstream people with like millions of fucking subscribers and shit, it's like him and like AM that I take the recommendations.
mm.
Yeah, I don't
But
see
you
how
actually
the network could
uh,
have did a Borderlands TV show, but I could see it could have happened. Maybe the characters, they could have did a little better with the characters, maybe with the TV show, because then you get an hour-long TV show instead of cramping everything you can into a 90-minute movie. You get a chance to run down the series and actually give some story to it. Maybe that would have been a better deal, Raven Knight, but it definitely probably soured the people after the movie who were going to probably do a TV show. I think after this, yeah, it's going to be even less support.
Mm. Okay.
well, one of the arguments that they were saying about that movie is like, why did they use all these old women for that?
I don't know why exactly. I mean, the makeup was good, but these people, you got to run around and stuff. I would have definitely got a more, in shape younger woman to do some of this stuff. And what's funny is they spent what over $100 million, and there's this one guy who was going. He's like this movie critique guy, and he went in there and he was actually finding in the final cut that they had cast members, people that was outside of the cast, like the support people. They was seeing people having microphones in there, people that was opening up the tank. They never did cut that where it was the actual crew. They still got some of the crew inside of the actual movie. And I was like, man, for 100 million, you couldn't. Who was editing that? Like, good lord.
Well, if you're gonna talk about numbers like that, they're saying that like the fucking Acolyte was they spent 180 million for fucking 8 episodes, and this shit was terrible.
180 million. Jesus, I mean, good lord, 200 million. Did they pay that much to do the Halo series? Was that? I mean, that's a lot of money.
Well, if you do the math, like for the show The Acolyte, they spent 180 mil on that shit. So that's like 22 and a half an episode.
Good lord. I mean, you would have thought they'd had some real deal A-list actors in it if they was paying that much per episode. I would think.
You think they have an actual story?
Oh yeah, the writers.
Yeah, because they like I said, they're blaming the incels for the failure of the show, and it was just like the show actually united Star Wars fans in its disgust for it.
Yeah.
I mean, but was it really incels who I saw that they got
No, it
really
wasn't
mad?
incel. You know, incel is nothing but a cop out. Like these days.
It's a blanket term that they use. You know.
Well, who I saw that got the most clickbait off of it is the general people who they came after. I think it was Critical Drinker, Nerd Roddick.
I watched both of them, Critical Drinker and Neurotic.
I watched both of them too.
Yeah, they went hard on it, and they went on Twitter and was going hard, and they got into these little Twitter wars back and forth. And I'm like, well, those aren't incels. Those are people that are actual fans of
Well, Scattered. Since you brought that up, like I mentioned this earlier, there was this one chick that was saying that them canceling the Acolyte is the equivalent of the second tower going down.
as far as the Star Wars Empire.
The second tower. It's talking about the twin towers. You know, 911. Which
Well,
is
yeah,
some dumbass shit to say.
Well, what was the first one going down? Was that the what they did with Skywalker? Was that the first one?
No, I don't think you understand. When she said the tower 911, she's talking about that she made a twin tower reference. The World Trade Center.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
she was saying that like them canceling the show
The
was the
Acolyte.
equivalent of that happening.
Oh, them cancel. Oh, I got you. Them canceling the show. How is that? How is that? If you made a bad show, it was just bad. No one liked it. It's not the end of the world. Disney obviously has more money to dump into these crazy shows.
Well, since you brought it up, I was watching the panel of fucking. It was like, well, I seen like two different panels. One was like Nerd Roddick and Drinker. The other one was like Nerd Roddick and a bunch of other people, and like fucking, yeah, there was even a bunch of women on the show that on the panel that was like, yeah, like we really didn't like that. Like that show was shit.
Yeah, I saw a couple of chicks that's on there like totally like super duper diehard Star Wars fans, and you could throw them in the boat of the colored hair wearers, the Gen Z, white women and Asian women. I've seen even some black women come out and it's like, no, we don't like it. But you never get them saying, well, other people don't like it. It's only white supremacy and incels. That's the only
incels, yeah.
You feel me? They go, like you said, that's a kiss turn. They go straight to that incel thing first.
Well, Shattered. That's what they were saying because like there was even tweets that were just like, "Congratulations, you bigots, you finally won." And it's like, huh? How did they win? Like it was a terrible show, and you wasted a lot of money on it. Like what?
Disney is used to this. They built the Galactic Hotel, the Galactic Cruiser Hotel down there in Disney, and they were charging $1,200 a night. I didn't even know that this thing existed. It was $1,200 a night, $2,400 for 2 nights to stay at this Star Wars themed hotel. That where you're going through, you can choose. You got the app on your phone, and you can go through the different. You can like do an RPG, a real life RPG. And I sat and watched it, and the girl went through and she showed everything that they was available at that place. And I said, you made a whole hotel themed it as Star Wars, charged people $1,200 a night with these little old rooms, and you actually thought you could have went on a cruise, an actual cruise, for way less. For $2,400, you'd be taking a nice cruise, and you go to this hotel, and it's absolutely garbage. And I'm like, they'll spend this much money. They didn't do any, research. Maybe $800 a night. I don't know. I wouldn't pay $800 a night for that shit.
Kev, did you see it was that D23 shit where they were showing like their previews of like the fucking movies coming out and whatnot. Like, did you see about Snow White? What they're saying about that?
Man.
That one girl
man.
that up, Kill. That one, what's her name? The one that did
Rachel Zegler already killed the film before it comes out. See, this is the kind of people that thinks that, these are the kind of people that thinks that writing bullshit is a good idea on the screen. That this is the person who ran the Acolyte, and she checks off boxes. She's a DEI person. She's the L in the LGBT.
Well, didn't she say that it was the gayest Star Wars that they had ever produced?
And then the target audiences don't even support it.
Yeah, what I seen, like I didn't actually know what she looked like beforehand. I only like a couple days ago I looked her up, right? And I seen like how she looks. I'm just like, no wonder why he was so bad. It makes perfect sense. Just look at her, just like, yeah, that's why it's so bad.
Yeah, it's horrible. And then like what they do is they go on these press campaigns and then they start complaining about the patriarchy, like how everything is patriarchal and it's about time that women did their thing and the alphabet community needs representation and that's how they try to rope people in. They don't care about the story itself, the quality, trying to produce something epic, and it just goes to show you just because something has a big budget doesn't mean that it's good.
Like now her new nickname is they're calling her lesbian headlamp.
Damn.
And then whenever you hear her speak, it's always just, it's always trying to cite that kind of thing. It's like,
well, look at that them.us, the first image on your search there. Look at the title, what it says. The queer creator of that. What does that have anything to do?
Because they write these things to make headlines. Oh, it's so stunning and brave. And if you don't like it, you're a bigot, you're an incel, you're a sexist, you're a racist. You want to see other people besides white men die. Like is they make it to where you cannot criticize the product. Just like the people that say just enjoy things.
Well, okay. Well, if she wanted to do that and did it right, okay, now let me play devil's advocate. What if she wrote a story where the lesbian witches, which was on half of the Sith side, half on the Forth side,
they're calling them lesbian space witches.
So what if the lesbian
representation
actually helped Yoda and actually helped Mace Windu or something? What if they helped them? And then
they're men. They're male characters. That can't happen. Like,
you feel me? Like, wouldn't that have been a better case for them? Like, at least the lesbian.
No, it's too much like right.
Well, Mace wouldn't have been alive, but the Acolyte could have been good if they would have said to hell with all the woke stuff. Let's just make this about Yoda because he was still alive because it's 100 years before Phantom Menace. So he would be about what, 700?
But you see what they did at the end of it, trying to do a little teaser for Yoda. They put the baby Yoda or whatever, they put Yoda at the finale, they had Yoda at the end. And I was like, y'all should have been brought Yoda out because that stuff y'all was giving, man, it was bad. It was bad. They should have brought Yoda in.
Because they're failing. All this woke stuff is failing.
But they're still
What do you
gonna
guys?
bring it out. They're still gonna shove it down your throat. If you don't accept it, they're gonna call you all kinds of names, and that's gonna make you run to the theater. That's gonna make you run to Disney Plus and watch it, consume their product, and just enjoy it because they want you to, not because you want you to. It's because they want you to, and their target demographic does not even support it.
What are you guys' thoughts on this? Because like I was seeing certain people that were reviewing it, they were showing like the ratings from like the actual audience for the Acolyte, and it was like fucking 14%. But the reviewers, like the paid operatives, they were giving it like an 85%. It's just like there,
You
there's
just said it. They
there, there's
paid.
there's a quite like you know it's quite the discrepancy there. I don't know. Maybe I don't know math, but 85 to 14%. Like yeah, so seems like a large difference to me, though, right?
Well, you
Yeah,
see the fallout of that. If you look at the Rotten Tomato scores, which they've already been highly messing with anyway. But if you look at it now, they're even speaking on where we're going to just eliminate the viewer score and just only count the publicist score only. Kind of like how YouTube removed the dislike button. What a dislike count rather.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind
YouTube removed the dislike button because, like, when they were putting out woke trailers to movies and television shows, those trailers were getting ratioed with dislikes, and then they'll start using like little cheeky words like review bombing, and just
Yes, yes, exactly. Like Artisan was talking about that earlier. He was saying that apparently they were saying, yeah, these guys are review bombing the show, and that's the reason why the reviews are so bad.
Can
yeah,
I say something real quick?
yeah. Go ahead.
I agree with everything that you're saying. I'm going to say something that's going to be very controversial, but in my opinion, the last thing that Marvel did that was any good was actually Luke Cage on Netflix.
Yeah,
Bullshit,
Sorry, but if you think
bullshit,
about it,
Damn right about that
bullshit.
one.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, here's what I have on the screen. Now, I do like Luke Cage, and I wish it could have continued, but if they bring it back with Disney Marvel, it's not going to be the same.
that
Like,
Luke Cage shit with Kev was deep on so many different levels. I was watching it tonight. The way they had like the barbershop was a character in the show. And even the fucking Biggie painting in Cottonmouth's office, you consider that to be a character. Because every time that painting was in frame, something deep was going on. After that, Marvel just went downhill, in my opinion.
I'm gonna have to
uh,
go back and watch Luke Cage. I actually like that show. I was
yeah,
watching it.
yeah.
I
Because
actually liked it.
I wanted to see a season 3 because I wanted to see what Street Boss Luke Cage was going to be like. So Street Boss Luke Cage, I wanted to see what's going to happen with Bushmaster because Bushmaster was badass. Uh,
And
And I was looking it up, and like,
Kevin, the way they ended it with the scene from The Godfather. Remember when the guy came in and whispered in his ear, and they closed
yeah,
the door in Missy's face? That was straight out of The Godfather. After that, Marvel just said, "To hell with it. Let's just go woke."
yeah.
well, like the thing
Well,
about Luke Cage.
you gotta think about this though. Like that was Netflix Marvel. This is Disney Marvel. That's the woke stuff.
Shit,
But go ahead.
Netflix would be even better.
Yeah,
Even
Netflix.
Jessica Jones was better than this Marvel shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Raven Knight said Jessica has a booty. I was like, yeah, I thought I was the only one that noticed. Uh, but I'm glad someone else did. But here's what I got. I got another example of wokeness on the on Disney Marvel. The director of this, Chloe Zhao. She directed Eternals. I actually am sad to say that I went to the theater to watch Eternals.
Is it the Eternals or the Marvels? It's one of them that had a bunch of like legitimate stuff going on in there.
Well, Eternals, like the one thing they did, like I said, they do this stuff to make headlines. Like the one headline that came out for the film was the fact, old boy Brian Tyree Henry, You know the guy that played Paperboy in Atlanta, that Donald Glover show.
Yeah, that GA dude, yeah.
He kissed a man in the movie, and the actors were talking like it was the most beautiful thing they'd ever seen. They talking about people were crying on the set. I said, uh,
Yeah, I don't know about that
all
one.
a goddamn line.
You know, in the Godzilla and King Kong team up movie, he was in there, as y'all know, he somewhat well like hinted to that, like to the hate he got for that movie, for him playing the gay role. He said something in regards to that, like basically, to make a joke out of it.
To what the brother fucking, I think it was like Bad Hombre that was saying that. Like he was talking about Jessica Jones. I actually like that show. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say.
I like Jessica
I like
Jones.
that show.
But
I
nobody
like
liked.
the Netflix Marvel stuff.
Hey Kev, did you like Iron Fist? A lot of people didn't like Iron Fist though.
I like Iron Fist.
It was still better than Disney Marvel.
Was Iron Fist a team up show? Am I wrong on that?
No. Iron Fist was just about Danny Rand.
Well, yeah, they had their own
Oh,
individual. All three of them had their own individual, but then they
that
had
was
a
one about the
show
Asian dude,
where they
right?
teamed up. So
Yeah, the
Yeah, what was
Defenders
the show
was
where
a
they
team
teamed
up.
up? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, Defenders was a team up.
Yeah, the Defenders. Definitely was.
I'm looking at the top 10 titles right now at Top Box Office US as of this weekend. Number 1 is Deadpool Wolverine, total gross 577 million at 5 weeks release. Alien Romulus, 2 weeks released at total 73 million, and it ends with us at 121 million week release.
Well, Van Jones, are you looking at just like U.S. or North America metrics only? Because Deadpool is over $1 billion now. You know that, right?
This is the IMDb charts for the US, specifically for US.
Yeah, but worldwide it's over $1 billion already.
that would make Wolverine and Deadpool the highest grossing Marvel movie, in years.
Well,
That man said, Raven Knight said, hello, Netflix characters are back. So you're saying that all of them are in Daredevil Reborn, including Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist?
Hey, that would be awesome.
Ray, for Deadpool and Wolverine is the highest grossing R-rated Marvel movie, or just R-rated movie in general.
Yeah, it was
The
the best.
high-
Was
yeah.
best rated R-rated movie ever.
No, not best rated. I mean, it probably is best rated, but it's the highest grossing R-rated movie.
It don't matter if it's R-rated. Hell, the parents are gonna still let their kids watch that shit.
Yeah, you know they're gonna do it. I mean, I watched Deadpool, not Deadpool. I watched Logan with my daughter, but at the time she was still in the stroller, so she didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
The kid ain't gonna be like, "Oh my God, he's cussing, mommy. Wolverine cussing."
Man, dude, it's
Well, at the
2024.
time she couldn't talk. She didn't know what was going on.
Hey, does anybody think Penguin is going to be a good show? The trailer looks okay.
Penguin, you talking about with Colin Farrell?
Yeah.
It's like a spinoff of the Batman. I don't know.
Yeah,
it
I
might
would
be.
have watched that.
Where Deadpool takes place is where Secret Wars is going to end up at. Yeah, we are what 3 or 4 years from Secret Wars. Because what they're gonna do is Avengers Doomsday, which might conflict with the Doomsday that is the one that killed Superman, but they got Robert Downey Jr. coming in as Doctor Doom, and that's what is that supposed to do? Lead to Secret Wars? Because I mean, hopefully they'll
See
bring
how
the
corny that
Beyonder in
is?
if they don't woke it.
Yeah, Kev, like you got to pull up on Arlington, man. I'm telling you.
Say what? I gotta pull up what, Andre?
I'm saying you got to pull up on Artisan, man. And I think y'all could have a great conversation.
The Beyonder will be a lesbian black woman.
Because
Oh
Ray,
hell
Ray's
no.
over on Artisan's
Talking
head
about,
too. Like I see Ray over
talking
there.
about, talking about,
Yeah.
talking about, talking about some, oh, you, you I may be powerful, the most powerful person in the universe, but I'm still a woman. And you're basing your looks like, is it?
It's like
Hey,
stop it, man, with this war against man bullshit. 'Cause that's all it is, man. I'm like, y'all already done OP'd a bunch of female characters over these past 5 years, especially within the comics.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Raven Knight, that was desperation, but they better bring back the Russo brothers. Like they better, like, because at first they were talking about not bringing back the Russo brothers because they wanted to do the DEI director hire, but everybody when they did those hires, all of them went in the direction of activism, and it
Well,
killed it's killing their product. So yeah,
what they've
they
been saying
need.
over the last what they've been saying over the last few months is that they've been quietly firing like the activists that they have as directors and writers, quietly firing them.
Hmm,
let me ask you
but
a question, Kev, and this go for everybody, but I would like to get your. I don't know if you've seen it. This off topic. Um, Dr. Umar has put out a challenge to debate DL, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and he said if they want to bring Roland Martin in, they'll bring Roland in as well to debate him on who black people. Because he was saying, I guess he got hot about what Steve said about him. Do you actually think, because it was talking about black radio, since they in charge of black radio, Dr. Umar said he's the king of consciousness. So you say y'all the kings of comedy. He wants to debate them in a 3-on-1. Do you think that'll actually happen?
you can't out scream people and expect that to be a productive debate. That's what Dr. Umar does. He overtalks. Uh yeah, Sunny's Hot Rod was good. Uh what I mean is Dr. Umar, what does he want to debate them on? Just basically, why they supporting Kamala Harris or something like that?
He has said this. He has said that he did a deep dive into what she has said, and he was delving directly into this. He said basically that the 2% of whatever that Kamala is black, black Americans. He said that he would like to debate them when she said, "I'm not going to do nothing directly for black people." And you want me to vote for her specifically because she's black, I would like to debate y'all on that. And since
I mean,
y'all
that's a good point.
Well,
That is a
that's
damn
what
good point, though.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Umar has smoked for Kamala because I always thought he was just a fucking a simp and a cuck. So I thought he was gonna go along to get along that kind of shit. I mean he still is, but just for the stance he's taking is like maybe he's trying to find a backbone.
well, some sprinkles of truth mixed with bullshit. That's Umar.
Well, if I think that they would never give Umar the time of day on it because, he went to the Divine Nine thing, and of course he's got a lot of brothers that are Omega, and he didn't want to, throw all the Omega brothers underneath the bus with, Steve Harvey. But I think it would be good to see them actually spar back and forth because, hey, at least he is saying something. Most of the people, they took their $10,000 and just shield. Dr. Umar, to his credit, didn't take the 10,000, and then Steve Harvey got mad at him for even saying that he was offered 10,000 and got said, "Well, I wouldn't take 10,000 for nothing. You got to give me 100,000." When meanwhile he now already took his butter biscuits because why else would he be sitting up there saying what he's saying for free? I don't believe it.
Man, when it comes to, I would say, celebrities, they are a different breed. They're going to support and back each other. And like I said yesterday, Kamala Harris is in that celebrity world. So People like Steve Harvey, people like D.L. Hughley, Ricky Smiley, they are going to defend her automatically. And they are going to do like the rest of the mainstream media that they serve. They are going to push Kamala Harris as a melanated queen. So,
Yeah, she's melanated, and that's where we get into the problem at persons of color and melanated, because everybody that's melanated does not share our culture, does not share our goals and what we're trying to get accomplished. So when we start saying and we take everybody into the fold as just because they have two pieces of melanin in their skin does not
Well,
mean it with us.
well, with Kamal, it's like I don't know. I've been having this conversation with guys around the space, and it's just like they're like, "Oh, she's Jamaican, so she's black," and it's just like, well, from what I've heard, it's like her parents are Indian, but they lived in Jamaica, but that doesn't make you black. Like it makes you Jamaican, right?
Well, well, offset though, not to get too far off, but what I was going to say regarding to Marvel and everything what they're doing in those shows we mentioned is that with Robert Downey Jr. That was like I mean, it was, you could say it may seem rushed or whatever, but maybe they had that plan like months beforehand. Like wait months like before they announced it. Basically, finding just trying to create a plan uh, to toss aside the whole timeline and storyline with Kang, the Kang dynasty. To basically to completely toss the whole idea in the trash. Even though people still stupid because people are gonna remember.
Well, with Robert Downey Jr., like the argument that they're making is like, are they talking about he's playing Doctor Doom from the multiverse
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
original
Them using
storyline? Like,
them using him as Doctor Doom. I mean, is their plan to offset. Totally to toss aside the whole idea of Kang.
well, that's
yeah.
what they're doing, but they're wondering like, what is this interpretation supposed to be?
Yeah, because I think, man, dude, yeah, it's just crazy. Because I'm like, y'all gonna use him, even though that's my dude. Y'all gonna use him, even though he has a rap sheet too. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying it's like, is he supposed to be
Hell, he
playing
went to
the
he went to
doc?
prison. He just don't have a rep sheet. More in depth, he did time.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm sure you guys know this, but yeah, his prison time is colder. Just saying.
Say what? What's going on?
I couldn't hear you when muted
No,
right there.
sorry, I said his prison time was colder. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh
Like
yeah.
his prison time was colder. So yeah.
Yeah, and then like, but Jonathan Majors doesn't even go to prison. He just, gets publicly scrutinized and found guilty, and they just get rid of him.
Right, right. Because I know y'all feel the same. Like, you rock with Robert Downey Jr. just as I. But the thing is, like, we still got to call bullshit, what I mean, when it comes to those, with those puppet masters.
Well, yeah. I mean, we call bullshit. It's just those aren't the narratives that are being pushed. Like, they can't recast Black Panther, but they can recast General Ross. Shit like that.
I mean,
Well,
didn't they
they also
recast him
recast
like
War
three
Machine.
times? My bad, Andre. I was gonna ask, did they recast him like three times? I think.
No, I mean, if you're talking about the different movies, if you're talking about Sam Elliott in the Hulk film, then
Yeah, Harrison
you're talking
Ford
about
should be the
William
third
Hurt.
one.
So Harrison Ford is the third General Ross. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but
I
the
was just
thing
saying
is,
they also recasted War Machine.
yeah, they recast War Machine. They recast Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle.
So Don Cheadle is still War Machine at this point.
Yeah. As far as I know, I mean, what they did with him in Secret Invasion was kind of disgraceful.
And I was also saying, it's like, how many signatures did they have to replace Black Panther before they went ahead with fucking this Wakanda Forever bullshit that nobody fucking liked? Like, how many signatures did he have? I think it was like, it was at the low end, it was like tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of signatures. But they were just like, fuck you guys. We're gonna do it anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, the multiverse, I think it has a great consistency in terms of what they can do with it because of the different timelines and stuff like that. I think that could actually be a stepping stone to get some of these other stories that haven't been put out there. And to Wolverine, Deadpool, I think they did great, man. It had the comedy of the Deadpool. It had Wolverine in that, the old school cartoon character costume. It had, different dimensions of Wolverine. It was funny. You got to see characters you ain't seen in forever. I mean, for God's sakes, he brought back Blade. You know what I'm saying? Why don't they do more stuff like that? I don't understand. You would think that will be more, let's see, the bottom line makes more money with this.
Well, Shattered, you said it before, right? You said you watched the Drinker, like because the message.
Oh, okay. It's the message. The message we have to sing DEI songs until we, run out all of Disney's bank account.
Well, that's what I've been trying to explain to people. People have been like asking me goofy questions or just asking in general, like, why would they continue to spend all this money on all this money on bad movies? It's just like they're not understanding like the message is more important than like actually making something that could be beneficial to yourself, like beneficial to the company. Like they care more about promoting whatever they're trying to promote.
And the third of the reasons why, damn it, it's it's shitball these movies because they want to regurgitate, the same shit. I mean, okay, like how many times we got to see Spider-Man's, first character developments, come on, man. Like, especially too when y'all mentioned about the whole universe is, shattered, and there's so many things, they can do with it, the multiverse. Yeah, you're right. But the thing is, these dumb bastards, they want to rehash the same characters, the same damn storylines in a whole nother universe. They already revealed it. There's multiple different universes. I mean, different doppelgangers and all that shit. So therefore, you're right too. They should be able to use that. Think smart about them and use as a way to bring forth these new characters, like you said, these different characters, and which could be a badass, it's just they're scared to, take a hit, I mean, if they come out with this character that wasn't really put so much focus on whatever, but until now, and then, they're scared that it would tank and, they're not going to make no money off of it. So it's like sticking to your bread and butter kind of thing.
Look at LucasArts, right? Remember when Knights of the Old Republic came out? I still say that is one of BioWare's best games. When they were actually trying to go off with KO2R2, and they were doing the Revan timeline, basically what I saw was with Casey Hudson they was trying to go in a different way with it. And LucasArts at the time was not owned by Disney. LucasArts did not want to go there. Casey Hudson made his play. He said he wanted to go there. They said, we won't do it. This is my baby. I won't have it changed in any way. LucasArts was serious about that. Then he says, okay, cool. Well, BioWare will step out. And then he said, well, look, I'm going to just create a whole new universe in this sci-fi thing, call it Mass Effect, and do my own story. Years later, still one of the best written and one of the best executed games and storylines of all time. And sometimes I guess some of the people that's actually doing the stuff, maybe they leave and create their own. I think that may be the solution. Maybe that is the solution.
I'll say Mass Effect lore. You're right, bro. The Mass Effect lore. I'm gonna just say 20 seconds. The Mass Effect lore stands out way more than the whole Star Wars lore. The Mass Effect lore gets in deep too.
Well, I predict by 2 years' time they will have Mass Effect. Either they're gonna make a movie or a series. one of the other.
My nigga, hey, me and you, bro, are the only ones that thought about that. Yes, yes. So
Because
my
this,
thoughts exactly.
this is the decade for video games now. And trust me, now all video games are going to make $1 billion or close to $1 billion bucks, as you see with Borderland. And I kind of like it, but I understand why it flopped to most people's critics because the timing and let's be honest, the characters. I did look up the woman that stars that live chick. She's almost pushing close to 60 years old. Why did they put an old actor to play a well-known character from 17 years ago?
Well,
That's a bad.
Chaos, you're gonna have to explain why you like Borderlands, bro.
Well, I never played Borderland. I just went and watched the movie. I wanted to play the game. I did play the game years and years ago when it came out. I never completely, but I played it when a friend brought it to me, and I played it. It was cool, but I never really bought it.
I'm gonna watch it though, and you know, hey, even though I'm not a fan or haven't played the damn game, so I'm gonna just take it as a show, you know, and just see how they do with the action and the storyline and the plot.
I just looked it up again now, and like it's got a fucking 4.3 on IMDb, and it's got a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, girl. Like, what did you like about the movie? Please tell me, because I haven't heard anybody say they liked it yet.
Sonny, let me answer this real quick. Sonny's Hot Ross says, "Do you think they depowered Namor in Wakanda forever? Because in the comics he's a lot stronger than yes they did. So Skinny and Fury could have a chance.
Yeah,
they weakened him with space heaters. Think about that, space heaters. Like this is the awful writing that we're talking about." But anyway, it's been a couple hours, guys. I know Chaos Rain just got up here. You sound like you wanted to chime in real quick.
Well, these are my just predictions. And this is the time for video game movies. What's next is I think Sonic the Hedgehog. That's gonna end out for the year. Moving forward next year, I'm not sure what movies that's video game that's coming. I'll tell you one thing. When I was looking through the internet, I've noticed all the movie video games for the past maybe almost 30 or more years. And some were good and a whole lot of them flop. But as time progressed, some have been good movies. But I think the ones that made the most money is still the animated ones for now. I mean, some of the ones that's real action, still sketchy, besides Mortal Kombat, but they have not found one that really worked yet. And they're going to find one that's going to really top notch, in my opinion. But really, it really is. You gotta take the game, but it's well popular, and you gotta have the right writers, and you gotta get away from propaganda. I know Disney and all these other corporations are trying to push certain messages, and they're willing to take the hit because they got the money ready. Close to having $1 billion, that's like buckets to them. That's why you see them put out this garbage, because their focus now is conditioning younger youth. They're not worried about losing money. It was all about the money. You would not see them take the risk, come up with some of these movies. They wouldn't put the stuff and know it doesn't work. Hell, the WNBA, they said now Star made some money this year. Now, will they consider make it for next year or two? I don't know. If they continue,
you're right on the animations, though. You're right on the animations because you can look at the Super Mario Brothers movie, right? Yeah. And it did great. You know, overseas, it did great. I'm looking at here now, video game movies in 2024. So it's saying Borderlands, Sonic, like you just said, Minecraft is coming, Five Nights at Freddy's, Super Mario Brothers 2.
Minecraft. Is it coming out this year?
Minecraft, April 4th, 2025. The Legend of Zelda is coming, Ghost of Tsushima, Until Dawn, Gears of War.
Oh, they made a Ghost of Tsushima movie?
Yes, Ghost of Tsushima.
The live one?
No. Hold up, Shattered. Like you said, Legend of Zelda. They're making a movie for that.
Yes, Legend of Zelda is to be announced. Already scheduled. Is to be announced.
I'm watching that no matter what.
Oh, you know what? If they follow the same rubric like they did with Mario, it should make more than Mario.
Zelda. Well, it got some more. So they got Mario 2 is coming because it made so much money. So they got April 3rd.
If they come out with Zelda next year, then Mario will probably come the year after that because they can't both at the same time.
Right. And I'm going to tell you another one that they're missing, and this is Nintendo's fault. Metroid, if they wanted to DEI something and do it right,
they'll fuck it up.
Is the perfect one. Samus Aran. They should do Metroid. It should have been did Metroid.
No. I'll give you one better. Make it a series.
Yes.
Because remember, if we're talking about DI and programming, that will go well for like the Halo and the Fallout. That could make a good series, a live action series. Metroid.
So we got Gears of War, Mortal Kombat 2, Return to Silent Hill, Death Stranding, Street Fighter's coming back, Days Gone, Pokemon, Detective Pikachu 2, Stray, BioShock, Space Channel 5, Mega Man, Duke Nukem, Dead by Daylight, Slime Rancher, Ark Survival Evolved. My God, they're coming out with an Ark movie. Streets of Rage, Pac-Man, Sniper Elite,
a movie,
Toe Jam and Earl, Jack and Daxter, Call of Duty movie coming, Half-Life movie coming, Saints Row movie coming, Portal movie coming, Yakuza, Beyond Good and Evil, Firewatch, Metal Gear Solid, The Division.
Yeah, they're gonna release that in like 2 years. Metal Gear Solid. I know they're gonna have that out. Definitely, they're gonna have that.
Motherfucking Metal Gear, damn it.
Well, Kev, I know you're a wrestling fan, and I'm thinking because basically like with the movies and shows and games that are popular right now is basically dudes trying to revert back to fucking traditional masculinity, right? So it's like, when are we gonna have a wrestling movie?
A wrestling movie?
Well, not like a movie just about wrestling, but just like how they got to that point type shit. 'Cause, like, I would love to see a movie about like fucking say like Undertaker or Stone Cold. I watch a movie on that.
Yeah, but you would have to include Vince McMahon and all the controversy with Vince McMahon now. So,
but didn't they have just a new wrestling movie that was just promoted?
The Iron Claw. It was about the Von Erichs, the tragedy known as the Von Erichs. Yeah, I heard that movie was pretty good.
Yeah, apparently that movie's pretty good. It's on my list to watch. Actually,
what about a movie of Bret Hart? Owen Hart. Bret Hart and Owen Hart.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I mean, I'm sure all are good ideas. Shout out to Nick Taylor. I see him in the chat. Yeah, all of which are good ideas. Maybe they will, but I mean, to hear that there's a Legend of Zelda movie coming out, I hope they don't fuck it up. I mean, is it going to be animated or is it going to be live action?
I hope they don't either.
Well, because I was talking with the artist and I was like, my favorite Zelda game was Ocarina of Time on 64. That was my favorite Zelda game. I don't know if y'all are into Zelda, but that's my favorite Zelda game.
I like that one where he turns into a wolf.
It sounds like you're talking about like Majora's Mask and shit.
Okay. Well, guys, that's gonna anybody got any final statements? I'm gonna wrap this up because I have to get up.
No, thanks for having me on, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Word, Ray Hum of the Hum, of course. Check his channel out.
No, thank you, bro. Have a good night, bro.
You do the same.
I'll chill in the backstage.
Word.
Yeah, I'm gonna chill in the back too. Like, yeah, I haven't been around for a little bit, but yeah, I've been listening. I had a lot of shit going on, so I just been listening in the back,
Bro, he
Thanks
said
for having me.
RPM said Twilight Princess is the wolf one. Yeah, he plays those games. So
yeah, I'm looking at it now, Kev. It's slated to be Nintendo announced this IGN here. Nintendo announced plans to create live action Legend of Zelda movie in partnership with Sony. That's March 25th.
Smart move.
Sony, you talking about the PlayStation people? They're gonna partner up with the PlayStation folks.
Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah. That's a good move because of what they did with Spider-Man. Yeah, that's a smart move.
Yeah, Ray, you should be running the fucking after party and chilling in the back, fam.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm about to go ahead and wrap this stream up. I don't do, like I said, against the grain because I like it. I do against the grain because I feel like that is in my heart what is right. So the thing is about that is it's not like I'm trying to be an asshole or anything, but if you think I'm an asshole, then what the fuck ever. I don't give a shit. But anyway, there's no black man know that I'm on your side when I say anything, even if I don't agree with you. Know that I'm on your side. And if you were a logical, fact-based black woman, I probably agree with some of the stuff that you say too. So, I mean, but just got to be careful, however it goes. So, anyway, thank you guys. Thanks for everybody who came up on this panel. Thank you to the live chat people, and thank you guys all together for making this channel what it is. And I will continue to bring you guys content. So, long live the habitual line steppers. Till the next time. Peace out.
Yo, can y'all hear me?